Hello, happy to see you back on this specialized program about Quang. We all know that this province possesses various beautiful landscapes and tourist attractions, or a thick historic background with peculiar cultural features and traditional crafts. On top of that, it is also blessed by nature with interlaced network of rivers, streams, ponds, lakes, canals, large wetlands, and especially the long corridor overlooking the East Sea from Indochina Peninsula. The diverse aquatic environment has brought favorable conditions for the fishermen through many generations and also formed the coastal culture of Quang. In this episode of Quang Today, let's learn more about the typical occupation of the province, fishery. The distinction of Quang that is hard to be found anywhere else is Jungyang River running along the coast. The starting and ending points of this river are also two large seaports, An Hoa in Nui Thanh district and Cửa Đại in Hội An city, playing an important role in fishing. These seaports form two creeks which provide convenient access and anchor for fishing boats. Between these two ports are beaches where fisheries can be exploited with substantial output. The total length of Quang Nam Beach is over 120 kilometers. Along the coast, there are also coastal lagoon system and many island clusters, of which the most notable is Cham Island. While lagoons are interfering areas between freshwater and seawater, creating typical brackish water fish species, the islands are important in the formation of key fish ponds that are associated with key fishing grounds and are good shelters for boats. In the 16th and 17th centuries, many ports in the central were utilized to trade with other countries in the region. Since the reign of King Nguyen, Hoàng Sa, Trường Sa sorceries were established to exploit the precious products in these two archipelagos. In addition, thanks to the rich source of seafood bestowed by sea currents, seafaring and fishing activities of residents in the central are very profitable. The last thing to mention is the fishing community. If fishing villages are very rare in the north, they are very popular in the central. Therefore, we can say that the traditional seagoing of Vietnamese people is much growing and expanding in this region. Until the first half of the 20th century, the fishing of Quang Nam people was mainly in the traditional methods. The common fishing gear in the fishery craft had its various names depending on the locality, depending on the water area, and depending on the type of fish where they are harvested. Nets were the basic production tool of fishermen. They were of different sizes, determined by the mesh. The fishermen just paddled the boat slowly and dropped the nets onto the water along the flow until they reached the end of the net, then used the scull to knock on the boat to shoo the fish. When they heard the sound, fish were panicked and hurriedly swam away, then gridlocked. The very important means of working that fishermen from rivers to lagoons all used for their fishing were wherries and boats of all types, such as basket boats or wooden boats. Most of the fishermen's boats were mainly bamboo baskets with different sizes. It was up to the wealth of the owner that the boat was caulked or oiled inside and out. Large boats were only about 10 to 12 meters in length, weighing no more than 10 tons without boat deck. Quang Nam has the tradition of shipbuilding. In Quang Nam, the oval wherries are very popular, mostly present in villages around Hội An. Since the end of the 17th century, Quang Nam people have contributed greatly to the construction of warships and ships for public transport. Since 2008, the policy of offshore fishing from the fisheries sector has created a big push for fishermen to bravely take their boats with high capacity, reaching out to the open sea. This has realized the policy of sustainable exploitation, while can protect and develop fisheries resources and combining economics with national defense. According to the above policy, the capacity of Quang Nam boat fleet has increased multiple times. The technical equipment, machinery, and communication has also made significant changes. Previously, the skills of netting were mainly manual. Now, on each boat, this job has been mechanized. In the past, the sailing and exploiting were mostly conducted by traditional experience. Now, boats are equipped with compass, chart, satellite navigator, radar, ultrasonic detector, long and short range radios. Fishermen are also trained more in seafaring knowledge, the moving regularity of fish stocks, the usage of fishing equipment, and new preservation techniques. Thanks to that, fishermen have been active in exploiting and ship towing, not as dependent on nature as in the 1980s of the 20th century. Currently, there are many ships operating hundreds of nautical miles offshore. They both gain better products and contribute to protecting the territorial sea sovereignty of the country. In recent years, Guangdong continues to develop, promulgate, and implement mechanisms to support and encourage the development of fishing craft as well as the offshore associated fishing vessels and fleets. For example, it encourages fishermen to actively invest in building and upgrading their fishing vessels, improving their production capacity so that the fishing fleet of the province continues to develop more quickly, contributing positively to the exploitation in remote waters, enhancing the density of Vietnamese vessels operating in Hoàng Sa, Trường Sa archipelagos. Implementing the Decree number 67 of the government on some fisheries development policies, many groups of fishermen in coastal areas of the province have registered to build new fishing vessels with steel or wooden shell and to meet the demand of offshore fishing. Seafood exploited by fishermen are sold at the market or through traders. They are also used to make fish sauce. Fishes such as tuna, pompano, or whitebait are put into large baskets called tung tiai and marinated with recipe of 2 fish, 1 salt. After that, the mixture will be transferred into wooden buckets, jars, or clay pots over a period of nearly a year. Then, coastal inhabitants start to extract the fish sauce to sell everywhere. The additional fish sauce making helps fishermen increase their product value and so their income. Along with the potential of abundant aquatic resources, coastal residents of Guangdong have been creating a rich and unique sea and islands culture, including both tangible and intangible features. They are traditional festivals, folk knowledge, customs, relics, and arts. The East Sea is full of unexpected thunders and storms that always threaten the lives of the seafarers. Each long trip is a fight against danger and difficulties. That's why human beings have pleaded for the protection and supremacy of the spiritual forces. They worshipped the whale with the belief that this legendary fish would be their guardian or savior. Many of the whale shrines were erected along the coast and have been worshipped so far, expressing fishermen's beliefs and aspirations for a full and happy life. Ending the program, we would like to reconfirm that reaching out to stick with the ocean is indispensable to both exploit the sea economic potentials, developing the fishery of the province, and protect the homeland sea and islands sovereignty. It's time for us to say goodbye now. Hope that you can find yourself interested with more contents about Guangdong through the website qrt.vn. Thank you for being with us and see you next time.